Namaste, family. Peace, prosperity, and joy be upon us all. Today, I want to briefly talk about the National Economic Security and Reformation Act, also known as NESARA. Well, I've been talking about this for a long time on my Facebook page. I would say about 2 years, but I'm particularly excited about it because we just received an email that it will be hopefully released this year. Now, a little bit of background about NESARA, or the National Economic Security Reformation Act. It is an act that was signed into law in the year 2000. What happened was, in the 1990s, the farmers took the Federal Reserve banking system to court because the banking system was engaging in some unlawful practices against the farmers. So they took them all the way up to the Supreme Court. And what the Supreme Court found was, not only had the central banking system engaged in unlawful banking practices towards farmers, but they had also engaged in unlawful banking practices towards the American people. So that led to, the farmers' claims led to the National Economic Security and Reformation Act, whereby farmers, their lawyers, and certain people in the military who were fighting for the farmers established something that would help liberate the planet. I'll put it that way. But essentially, it initially started by liberating the American people. What happened was, it was signed into law allegedly at gunpoint. The military stormed into the White House and forced President Clinton to sign this bill into law because he was a part of the powerful banking elite and the United States corporation, which did not want to liberate the people. So you see, if you know that in 1871, our republic, the original government, or the lawful government, was usurped or overtaken by malevolent or bad ETs, extraterrestrials, and their human hybrids and humans who were part of the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and other so-called elite royal bloodlines that took over our government and established a federal banking system that is unlawful and utilizes the fiat system, which is not backed by gold. In our Constitution, money is defined as gold or silver. Well, when the Federal Reserve banking system took over, they started printing money just on paper, and it was not backed by gold. And of course, they stole the gold from the people and forced us and the entire world to use their fiat banking system and to use their so-called currency. Speeded up to in the 1990s, when the farmers took the Federal Banking Reserve system to court and won. A lot of the bankers ended up losing their lives, as well as their lawyers, and many people who were fighting the good fight to help liberate us were killed. Well, this was to be announced. The National Economic Security and National Economic Security and Reformation Act was to be announced in 2001. But in order to stop it from being announced, our corrupt government, which is actually a corporation, or the United States Incorporated, launched an attack on the World Towers and also attacked the Pentagon, from which the announcement was to come. And this occurred, as you know, on 9/11 or September 11. They hit the World Towers, they hit the Pentagon, and they stole the gold from underneath the towers, which was to back our new currency, as well as establish humanitarian projects to liberate us and help us. So the announcement never came. Therefore, the alliance had to come up with a new plan, or a trump card. So you see, behind the scenes, there was a galactic battle that was occurring over humanity and over the earth. And then in our 3D reality, there were good benevolent forces and humans and military NESARA white knights fighting to liberate us from this Federal Reserve banking system and from the United States Incorporated. So since we didn't have that announcement in 2001, the powers that be, the benevolent forces, recruited Donald Trump in about probably before 2016, but he became a president around that time, in order to take down the central banking system and to take down the United States corporation and restore the republic, which again is our original government. Now, a lot of people don't like Trump, but we know that he was recruited to do this job, and we also know as light beings and as people who have ascended in our consciousness, to not always believe the media and to always see through the facade or see through human errors in order to understand or understand the larger picture. So he was recruited to take down this government, which is why the mainstream media hates him, because they are a part of the so-called elite that have been in cahoots to control our mind, to keep us debt slaves, to keep us operating at a lower 3D level or 3D consciousness, always fighting and being angry, being caught in a realm of dealing with our lower man or our sacral chakra, dealing with basic instincts, having us always at the point where we're wanting to fight and struggle and do all those things. And so you see, when you're always angry and have negative energy and frustrated and feed into your psyche murderous and violent things, then you emanate something called loosh, and that is negative energy, which the malevolent or the bad ETs actually eat and consume as food. So the people that are over Hollywood, the media, etc., and even your bad politicians do things to keep us angry so that we can emanate this loosh to feed the negative ETs that were controlling the planet. And behind the scenes, these negative ETs have been fighting over humanity and the planet for a long time. So that's a long story. You might want to research the Sumerian texts and how the Anunnaki created us in order to mine gold, and then left us down here, some in hopes that we would destroy ourselves, others in hopes that we'd ascend to our God consciousness. But once they left us down here, the bad ETs came from other planets and started fighting us here and took advantage of us being left alone and enslaved us. Well, they've destroyed many other planets and attempted to come here and do the same thing. Enough of that. So Donald Trump was recruited on the human realm to take down the United States corporation. Well, some of those are actually human and ET hybrids. Some of them are humans and some of them are hybrids, and some of them are non-humans, like your Dracons and your reptilians. Well, some people say he time jumped here and he is a Palladian or some type of benevolent force, or maybe, a mixture of the two to take down that corporation. At any rate, he has been constructing executive orders to take down the Federal Reserve. Remember, in December 24th, he said he signed into law the No Counterfeiting Money Act, he said. And then he said, I just ended the Federal Reserve. Merry Christmas. And then in January, he told us that we were on the gold standard throughout the world. But you have to look at his tweets, because he communicates to us through his tweets, and he also communicates to the elite in codes. So sometimes when you see things that you don't understand or looks like he's misspelling, he's not. He's using numerology and other type of strategies to communicate to the elite that he's taking them down. So here we are, fast forwarding to where we are today. The National Economic Security and Reformation Act will soon be implemented, hopefully by this spring, and it will liberate the entire planet. This is by design of the Galactic Federation of Light, our galactic family. Namaste to you all, and to our prime creator. By design of our prime creator, whom the galactics call Krexlin. Now, there's a difference between the creator and the gods, but I'll leave that for another discussion. So the National Economic Security and Reformation Act has several benefits. First of all, it will restore the Republic, and that is our original government. It will also return us to constitutional law. It will return us to the gold standard. And it will destroy the Federal Reserve banking system. It will eliminate the IRS. stress. It will eliminate taxes. It will increase benefits for our senior citizens. It will retrain all lawyers and judges in constitutional law. And it will do numerous other things, release healing technologies that have been suppressed, that will heal our bodies, like the med beds and other technologies. It will allow us to have free energy and a whole bunch of other things, as well as establish national peace and world peace. So you see, 209 countries agreed to world peace behind the scenes, as well as to returning to the gold standard. So stop listening to the media, because the media is feeding us lies and not telling us what's going on in the grand scheme of things. Most countries, if not all countries, are at peace with one another. And if they're not yet, they're working on it, because they've already agreed. They were forced to by galactic design. Okay? Keep in mind what's going on in Venezuela and Zimbabwe with all the corruption and everything, and people are angry with their governments. You see, what's going on is that a lot of those governments were controlled by malevolent ETs, just like United States Corporation. And so those people are struggling to stay in power, but they will have to come out of power, and they will have to become NESARA and GESARA compliant. GESARA is the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. Okay, let me wrap this up. So as well as technologies being released, so will massive amounts of wealth be released to the planet, not just the United States. And that wealth will be created in order to clean up our ecosystem, our water, our air, which has been polluted by chemtrails and by these corporations, and all this wicked stuff that has kept us sick and enslaved. So these humanitarian projects will clean up the ecosystem and help humanity. It will help those who are homeless, those who are struggling, those who are sick, those who are on drugs. It will also release some of our prisoners who have suffered from being in prison and have not committed any violent crimes. Finally, it will do many other things, but finally it will release massive amount of wealth from gold that is stored by our Asian and African elders, as well as Zimbabwe. That's what the movie Black Panther was about, releasing wealth to help humanity. And the way it will do that for each of us is each person 21 and older will receive $100,000 a month, $100,000 per month for 11 years in a non-interest bearing account, so that we can, for once, finally experience wealth. Massive amount of wealth and joy and happiness. And this is done in order to make up for the suffering that we have encountered at the hands of the central banking system. And it will make up for having our birth certificate bonds being circulated on the New York Stock Exchange, making all these people rich, as well as making up for GMEI Utilities Corporation using our social security numbers to make billions of dollars. So you see, now we'll have access to our own wealth. Remember old texts that said the wealth of the wicked will be restored or taken over for the wealth for the people, something like that. I can't remember the scripture right now because I'm really excited. But yes, so keep in mind that this is by galactic mandate. It may seem like it's outlandish or out there, but I want you to raise your vibrations, turn off the television, take some time away from social media, and do some fasting and meditation, and ask your higher self and the Creator if all this is true. Ask them to come to you and speak to you, to calm you and give you great peace, and let you know that these wonderful benefits of NESARA and of our Creator are actually here to help liberate the planet. Let's get excited. Let's have great expectations. And let's welcomely and warmly receive these bountiful, beautiful blessings. I love you. I grant you love, peace, massive wealth, good health, long life, and prosperity. Namaste. Peace.